For a moment, I want to get real serious and take my time and explain to you the onslaught that the world has been under from sugar. Um, I'm a sugar addict. I make no bones about it. Many of you are and won't admit it. But if you want to change, let's understand what we're dealing with here. This is a ad from Europe back in the day, a long time ago, when they used to have to ration your sugar to 2 pounds a month. 2 pounds a month. At one time in my household, we probably were purchasing just in sugar now. Cane, pure white, granulated sugar. We probably were about at least 2 bags, which was 8 pounds. These people are only allowed to get two. Well, we've come a mighty long way from there. In today's society, we're much worse. In the 1700s, the average person consumed 4.9 grams. 1800, it was 22.4 grams. That's not even an ounce each day. And just speeding things up here, in 2009, 50% of Americans consume approximately 227 grams of sugar every day. It's 2024, so I guess we can say things are much worse now. Wow. If you look at the sugar consumption in this country since 1822, you can see the increase. And what's crazy about this graph is the only reason there's a dip between or flattening between 1920 and 1950 is because of two things that happened. You know what those were? 1917, if I'm not mistaken, or World War One, and 1941, World War Two, was it 1911? But World War One and World War Two. People weren't thinking about, eating so much sugar as we were working to keep the country afloat in the face of fascism and all the stuff they was doing, and rising sun, swastikas. I don't want to get into that, but it's been pretty bad. It's just another bar chart showing the same thing. We consume a lot of sugar, and where has that gotten us is in a very bad place. We drink too many carbonated soft drinks. Our consumption of these soft drinks has tripled over the past 60 years, I guess, since they were created. It's at 1954 to in 2015, we're up to 30 gallons per capita. Now that means, especially in a year like this, like I'm not a part of this this year. Last year, I still wasn't at 30 gallons, but this is pretty bad. So if I'm not consuming 30 gallons at this time, that means it could be one of my children, could be my wife, but somebody's out here taking in 60. And of course, we know some people are 100 or so gallons of carbonated soft drinks. It's tripled in 60 years and it's still heading up. It's probably up as high as 35 now, but 30 is still ridiculous. So why am I talking about this onslaught so much of sugar? Well, because as sugar consumption has increased, you see the dips right there for World War One and World War Two. And probably some other wars probably slowed it down as well, coming out of 1950s, Korea, Vietnam. But as you see, as our sugar consumption has skyrocketed over the last 60 years, just in sodas and everything else, and the fact that they put sugar in everything that's preserved, unless they specifically say they don't. They hydrogenated this, these preservatives for that, frozen foods. With the increase of sugar, there is a strong correlation to the increase of the number of people that are obese in America. meaning me. I'm a category 3. I found out. I guess they had to go on and add an extra category because some of us are way past category 1 and category 2. Category 3 and working on it. Matter of fact, I gotta get on my scale. It tells me all this stuff. Maybe I'm category 2 now. But we working on it. So obesity has increased. And whenever you're increasing obesity in your life, in the community, in the country, we are inviting other things into our lives. What kind of things am I talking about? Mainly for me, we're talking about diabetes. It is a scourge of many nations. Diabetes is taking over in a huge way. Look at the burden of it. The incidence of type 2 diabetes is increasing in every country. 2 or 3 patients live in emerging markets. Why? Because they eat a lot of things that are high carbs. I mean, when we send food to other countries, sending corn and oats and all these things, some people still eat it every day. They say it's affecting more than 642 million. Estimated to be 642 million by 2040. Still real high right now. 75%, let me get my face out the way. 75% of people with diabetes live in low and middle income countries. Man, 192.8 million people living with diabetes. 50% of cases are undiagnosed. One day I will break down this new term of diabetes 3, so y'all can see what happens when you go undiagnosed. Even though everything in your life looks fine, feeling a little funny, but not bad enough, there's some warning signs of something else to come. I hope this has been informative. Stay tuned for part 2.